All right, we are on time today. Thank you, Jen Love, for making me go to Orange Theory at 5 a.m. I mean, I'm usually up by then. I'm usually not working out at that night. If I lift, I get up at 4:45, but then I'm not really exercising till like 5:20, and there's like a 10-minute warm up. And then if I only run or do Orange Theory, like normally today would be, I'd sleep until 6. Up at 4:15. No. And I realized only finally figured it out at 55. I can't do this every day anymore. No. I took a couple of days off from Orange Theory, hashtag humble brag, back at home. And when I went back like 2 or 3 days later, it was much better. Much better. Now today, I'm headed over to Acadiana Foot Center. They made me insoles like a decade ago. And I don't think they've lasted. My feet are killing me. So hopefully we can get that done. Also, I'm going to order something for, again, a piece of glass on top of my car has cracked. And I think the mechanic across the street is gonna fix it for me. I got to order it. It's got to be shipped. And he's got a day to put it in. Hopefully that's the case. Again, the idea is to leave here Friday next week. All right, we're still going to, we are planning on going to crashing, if you will, the ESPN, again, what is it? ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Is that a mouthful? Could have just been ESPN Louisiana. Anyways, because wasn't it ESPN Baton Rouge? Isn't it ESPN Baton Rouge? So, or Baton Rouge. Yeah, it's ESPN Baton Rouge. That would have been well, maybe that's why they didn't do it that way. So they're having a party. Still haven't corrected it. I presume it's tomorrow, July 10th, 2024. Or maybe there's a joke why they haven't changed it. But we'll be there. And I guess they're doing it all day. So of all people, Jordy Holberg reached out to me yesterday. So we'll stop over there and see him. Maybe we'll harass Foot. I'm also going to see if I can still get a dentist appointment. We'll see if we get a cleaning in. I didn't see a whole lot of actual news yesterday concerning the Cajuns. I didn't see a Sam Landry or a Brooke Elstead decision. And I'm not sure if the Cajun softball team have made their hires yet. But we did get the SEC players, and it never SEC the players going to SEC media days, all right, which is always fun because it's not who's going, it's who's not going. And right now Connor Wakeman is not going. Is that the A&M quarterback? That's a little bit odd. We'll get to the other two players here, but it never fails. All right, since I've been doing this, and I can't tell you that my first SEC media days, 16 or 17, maybe something like that. It was in Hoover, then in Atlanta, then back to Hoover, then back to Atlanta, then in Nashville, and now in Dallas. And it's going to be Dallas is going to be the center of the sports world next week. It is not only SEC Media Days, it's the Major League All-Star Game. So there's not going to be a shortage of people in the Metroplex area. So it never fails, the A&M bandwagon. And so Jimbo had to already be the coach when I was there. It just was always A&M. And mostly it was about who's taking down Alabama. That's who it was. People were sick and tired. Everybody else was sick and tired of Alabama winning all the time. Who can take down Alabama? Now, it ended up being LSU in 19, right? But they wanted someone new to the table, and A&M this and A&M that, and here we go again. Josh Pate, who I love myself some Josh Pate, and I think he was more along the lines of talking about the ascension of the program than what may or may not happen this year with Mike Elko, and that may have been the right choice because it was going to be Mark Stoops, but it ends up being Mike Elko, and here we go again. A&M bandwagon. Never fails. SEC Media Days rolls along. It's A&M Bandwagon. We'll see where they finish. We'll see how good Connor Wegman is. I did hear when I was there at College Station, some people, Jimbo may have been more concerned with perception, I guess. And Elko is just all about the football. So, he doesn't care about publicity or anything like that in terms of, stature in the game. He just wants to coach football. So maybe they're in better shape. Let's check out that A&M quickly. Let's check out that A&M schedule because let's see. A&M football schedule. All right. All right. They will be favored in their first game, and it is at home. It's against Notre Dame. Okay. That's my guy, Riley Leonard. There's probably not two teams that I despise more than A&M and Notre Dame for different reasons. Notre Dame is holier than thou, and A&M never wins anything. And yet they act like they do. But I'm probably rooting for Notre Dame in this one because of Riley Leonard. Saw him, called a couple of his games at Fairhope. Really good kid. Hopefully he's healthy. And now he's the quarterback of Notre Dame. That's crazy. So can Notre Dame go in there and take down A&M in the first game for Mike Elko? Not going to be easy. Then they host McNeese. So maybe they're 2-0, right? They very well could beat Notre Dame. They're going to Florida. And I don't think that's going to be an easy game. Again, absolutely could be a homer in this case. I think there's a lot of, could be what ifs and potential with all of Florida's demise and schedule. There's a lot of new coaches, new quarterbacks. We'll see how good everybody is. All right. Then A&M gets Bowling Green. I mean, I guess they could be 3-0. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be favored against Florida on the road, but they could be 4-0. Arkansas. I mean, you should beat Arkansas if you're any good. We'll say they lose to Notre Dame, but beat Florida. Maybe the opposite. So 4-1, 5-1 against Arkansas. Missouri's at home, so they probably could win that one. Missouri's supposed to be good. That's 6-1. Mississippi State, they should win. That's 7-1. LSU's at home. I mean, they're going to beat LSU at home. They got to go to South Carolina. They got to go to Auburn, and they do get Texas at home. Boy, that's going to be a heck of a football game. I mean, the potential is there. Let's be honest. The potential is there for A&M to have a fantastic season because, I mean, outside of Florida's on the road, Arkansas is a road-ish game. I mean, Mississippi State's on the road. South Carolina's on the road. Auburn could be their toughest road game with Florida. All right. I mean, Texas is at home. LSU is at home. Missouri is at home. Notre Dame is at home. So they have the potential. All right. If they are any good, they could have a good season this year. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, I'm sitting here saying, they could beat Notre Dame and they could beat Florida. Could they lose those two ball games? And all of a sudden you're 2-2 with wins over McNeese and Bowling Green. Why couldn't that happen? I guess they could be 4-0 and we're off to the damn races. But they could easily be, I think, 2-2. All right. We shall see. All right. So let's go over the players that, again, it's more about who didn't go. And I guess the only one I'm surprised that the, and I certainly don't know who all of these players are, but Again, the surprising one is Connor is not going to QB of A&M. All right, so Alabama, I was going to say LSU's players. LSU's players are Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback, Harold Perkins, linebacker, and Mason Taylor, tight end. Kind of surprised the two tackles. One of the two tackles isn't going. That's a little bit surprising. I'll be honest with you. That's a surprising one. All right, so let's go back. This is in alphabetical order. Alabama bringing Jalen Milroe, Tyler Booker, and Malachi Moore. Okay, exactly. Arkansas bringing Taylor Green, their quarterback. They got Andrew Armstrong, wide receiver, Landon Jackson, defensive end, 2 seniors and a junior. And it should be upperclassmen. It usually is juniors and seniors going to this thing. Whereas Auburn bringing 2 seniors, Peyton Thorne, all right, Eugene Asante, the linebacker, and Kedrick Falk is a sophomore defensive end. So that says something about him. All right. Florida bringing Graham Mertz, Shamar James. I doubt that he ever played. Riley Leonard, Faith Academy. Colin Lacey went there. He is the former South Alabama wide receiver who transferred to Louisville. And Shamar James, I presume they were teammates somewhere along the way. I think Colin Lacey is a little bit, maybe a couple years older. But Shamar James was a huge recruit out of Faith Hill Academy. And he's going. It would have been great to see him. Montrell Johnson, a running back. That's a former Raging Cajun. All right. Georgia bringing Carson Beck, quarterback. Michael Williams, a defensive lineman. Malachi Starks, a junior safety. Kentucky, no quarterback. Marquise Cox, offensive lineman. Derek Jackson, linebacker. Deion Walker, defensive lineman. All right. As we mentioned, Nussmeier, Taylor, and Perkins. And I am seeing, anybody else seeing this? I am seeing different reports on where Perkins is playing. I thought he's moving inside, where maybe for his pro career, he's got to do it, but we'll see how many, he's really good on the edge in college. We'll see. That was where they started with Brian Kelly in his first year, and then they went back to Perkins on the outside. I mean, he is short. He's not super tall. And that, kind of limits how much weight he can put on there, right? I mean, he is like 6 foot. Let's see here. 6'1", 220. That's tough to be an edge rusher. Admittedly, he's really good at it. Maybe we're a little bit surprised because of his size. Let's see what my guy, Dwight Freeney, because he was an undersized guy. Let's see what he was listed at. Well, not anymore. Not listed there. No, he was listed at 6'1", 268. More defensive end than a linebacker. But that's a huge difference, right? That's 40 pounds difference. That makes a difference when you're going up. There's going to be nobody less than 300 pounds. I don't know if there's anybody less than 300 pounds in the SEC at tackle. You're lucky if you get somebody less than 330 in the NFL. All right, let's see where else we got here. Ole Miss bringing Jackson Dart. The bullseye's on him, right? Everyone expecting Ole Miss to make the playoffs. Trey Harris and Jared Ivey. Mississippi State, Blake Shapen, quarterback. All right. Albert Reese, the fourth, offensive lineman, and John Lewis, senior linebacker. Missouri, Luther Burden, the third, outstanding wide receiver. Brady Cook, quarterback, senior. Kristen Williams, defensive lineman. Oklahoma bringing sophomore quarterback Jackson Arnold. That tells you what Brent Venables thinks about that. Danny thinks about him. Danny Stutzman, linebacker. Billy Bowman Jr., defensive back, senior defensive back. No quarterback for South Carolina. No quarterback for Texas. No quarterback for Tennessee. Quinn Ewers is coming for Texas. And obviously it's going to be a massive audience for that Texas crew and the Oklahoma. I'm not sure they're going to know what hit them. It's one thing going to the Big 12 media days. It's another thing doing this. And this is going to be in Dallas. You're going to have Dallas media. You're going to have Houston media, Oklahoma City media. It's a sight to behold. Unfortunately, I won't be attending. A&M, again, no quarterback for A&M. Shamar Turner, defensive lineman. Turian York, sophomore linebacker. Trey Zune, the third, offensive lineman, junior. Vanderbilt, also no quarterback. Gunnar Hansen, senior. Langston Patterson, junior, and CJ Taylor, senior safety. So always with these things, it's more about who, not only who is going, but who is not going. And in this case, the big surprise would be Connor Wakeman. Is that how you say his name? The quarterback from A&M. All right. I think there's the other quarterbacks who are not going. There seems to be a little, quarterback battle, which that's all right. And then others, when you get Jackson Arnold going, isn't Dylan Gabriel? That's interesting here. Hold on a second. Where is Dylan Gabriel? Isn't he there? Let's see. Dylan Gabriel, was he at Oklahoma last year, or he's got Oregon there? He transferred to Oregon this year. Okay. He's at Oregon this year. He was there. He's at Oklahoma last year. Okay. All right. But they're bringing the sophomore. That's a big deal when you're bringing your sophomore. Also, you never know what you're going to get with college kids. Some guys are shy. I've noticed offensive linemen are pretty heady and not shy. Usually get some linebackers that are pretty effusive. So it has, I will say this flat out, it has nothing to do with intelligence. It has to do with being able to say the same thing over and over again repeatedly. Because I got Kool-Aid McKinstry, I think at the last year. And I mean, I recorded him for about 5 minutes, and I think it was about 2:30, something along those lines. And he'd been there since 7. So he was wasted, if you will. And if they came in on a plane, is he up at 5 a.m. getting to Nashville? I know he's young, but it is, like that ESPN car wash, you are brought in and you go all over the place. Marty and McGee, probably Josh Pate, Jay Crane, all the SEC stuff. You go from the main room to a different media room, and they're asked the same questions all the time. So it gets repetitive. And Kool-Aid was he was a little quiet, but I think he was a little tired. But you want the guys that are effusive, outgoing. The well-spokenness can be great, but if they have a really fun personality, all right, because you ask some of them what their majors are, how do you come about doing that? You can have a good conversation with them. So, especially if you can get them for if you get them for 3 minutes, that's rough. But if you can get them for 6 to 8, you don't need them for 10 to 12. But if you can get these players for 6 to 8, because you ask them about themselves, you ask them about the teammates, you ask them about the coach, you ask them about there's a lot of different things you can ask them. And I would, as soon as you get the list, although it's really, there's only a week, I would spend this week, I would have started yesterday, certainly today if I was going, and you just start going through the bios, online. Usually it's a couple of weeks. This one was only a week. You go through the bios and you get some nuggets. It's a little bit of a deal. Now you got 16 teams. Can you do 4 a day? Shouldn't take you that long. But that's 12 players every day. That's not that long. Should take a couple hours. I guess now, if I was going, I'd be working. Well, we are not headed to SEC media days. I did start packing up my bourbon, and I got a lot of it. I didn't fit as nearly as much as I thought. Because some of these boxes, are not that big, to be honest with you. Most of these boxes are smaller than a banana box. Like I might be able to fit 3 or 4 banana boxes in my trunk. I'm pretty sure I fit about 8 to 9 bourbon boxes in my trunk. And then 3 in the back seat, 1 on the floor up front, and 1 on the passenger seat. Now remember, I need room for a suitcase. I did take about 8 bottles out. Not all of it is bourbon, but I took about 8 bottles of bourbon out, and maybe I will disperse that to some friends here in town. I have some wine and some champagne that came in those baskets with the other bottles. It's mostly packed. And some of these are odd shaped bottles, but I did find some good boxes yesterday in my closet. I'd gotten some. So the idea being, the more I can take with me on this trip, the less I'll take on the second trip. All right. I still have about 20. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure this out again. All right. See what I can do. I actually packed my car and unpacked it. Seems a little bit strange yesterday. But if I can put in about 20 more, I'll be in good shape. If I could put in 2 or 3 more boxes, and then there's a couple in containers that may just be able to roll on the floor, type of deal. So I have way too many, and I have about 8 bottles that you can get just about anywhere. So I can do away with those. All right, what else is there? I'm not sure if there's a whole lot else going on. I did do one thing here. Oh, I did it's A&M Bandwagon, and I guess Zach Edey had a big ball game yesterday. Not much to do with Acadiana, but Zach Edey played well. I'm not sure what to make out of the NBA Summer League. I think it's pretty neat. You get to see some of the players, and you get a little bit more access. It's kind of like spring training, right? For rookies, because you get some access. It's lax. The executives are there, coaches are there, media's there. I didn't watch any of it. I just saw some highlights. I think my nephew put his line up. I mean, it was pretty good, right? I mean, again, remember, these are other rookies that they're going against. So, or first-year players or second-year players, if you're doing that. Let's see here. Oh, let me see what my nephew did. I thought it was pretty good numbers. 34 minutes, 14 points, 7 to 12 shooting, 15 rebounds. I mean, with 14 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks, 3 turnovers. I mean, that's pretty good if you ask me. I think those are pretty good numbers. So anything else going on? Again, it is a little bit of a downtime in sports. We got the Open Championship this week. I guess I didn't realize this. Connor Flagg played in pickup games against Team USA and seems to be doing pretty well. Keegan Bradley, I guess. He is the Ryder Cup captain. I guess it's a controversial pick because he doesn't have a whole lot of experience with it. Here's the only thing, and I could be wrong about this. Did he did I say Connor Flagg? Is the nephew watching? It's Cooper Flagg. Did I mess that up? He is up. That's kind of amazing. Not Cooper, but the Samo. No, I lost my train of thought. What were we going to do here? I totally lost my train of thought. Thank you, Samo. Oh, well. Blanked out. I don't know what I was talking about. Keegan Bradley. Okay, there you go. Isn't he a little intense for golf? That's my only thing. He had a really good career for a little bit. PGA champion, maybe FedEx Cup champion. And then kind of, I don't know if he's faded, right? I think there's been some wins as of recently. Let's see here. He's Pat Bradley's nephew. He has 6 PGA wins, 11 runner-up. I mean, that's pretty good. He's got 58 top 10 finishes. He's got, $43.5 million of official money. All right. Now, he won the Zozo Championship in 22 and the Travelers in 23. Before that, it was a minute. He won the BMW Championship in 18. All right. He had that really good year 2011 when he won the Byron Nelson and the PGA Championship. And then he won a WGC tournament, Bridgestone Invitational in 2012. All right. Played on the Ryder Cup in 2012 and 2014. He's the captain. We'll see how that goes. Team USA has not fared well as of late. Tiger apparently didn't want to do it. Not sure why. Last time when he was team captain for the President's Cup, he was playing, but that was before the car accident. That was before the bad car accident. So interesting to see on how that'll go. All right. Again, I'm not sure if there's anything else I missed yesterday. Again, we'll probably pop into that birthday party. They're having a birthday party at 9. Are you going to be there besides Kevin Foote? No. That's going to be funny. All right. So, yeah, I actually have to start packing with the books and the CDs. Probably do that now. And then repack the car to see if I can get how much bourbon I can get in the car. It didn't seem there was a couple of heavy boxes. You don't want the car to be riding low, too low, anyways. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So I think that's about it. I don't know what else is going on baseball wise. And the Yankees are in the tank. Again, we mentioned Paul Skeens yesterday, how the Pirates, are the Pirates trying? Like the Pirates have this really good rotation, and the moment at a bat, they don't seem to care, right? And I'm sure they're getting help from the other teams. Like that radio station that withdrew their offer. I just think that they're doing the least amount possible. You ever do a favor for somebody, or someone does a favor for you, and they say that's the least I could do? It's like what the Pirates are doing. Like they're not even trying. I get it that the Pirates can't spend $200 million a year. I get it, right? In baseball, no salary cap, right? But you have a chance to compete now, all right? Get to the playoffs, maybe win a series, get the momentum going. You do have a, really 3 or 4 year window where, all of those draft picks when you were really bad are coming up. Forget about the Paul Skeenses of the world. And they're just not trying. I get it if you can't spend that kind of money, but if you're not even trying, like what is, I don't know, let's see here, Major League Baseball team spending, team salaries. All right. So the Mets are $309 million. The Yankees are $307 million. All right. Even Houston is $251. And the Dodgers are $231. Okay. Total allocations, not the 26-man roster. Oh. I mean, the Mets are active 179 million. This is Sport Track. They're paying $50 million of people injured. I don't even want to know what buried means. That's a listing there. Where's Pittsburgh? Are they dead last? They're 29th. So Oakland's not even trying, right? Oakland has 63 million. 63 million. Divided by, I say 25. That's 2.5 million per player. Pittsburgh is 85. Tampa is 96. Cleveland may be the best team in the American League. They're at 100 million. Are you telling me Pittsburgh can't get, everybody else won. The Orioles, because they're so young, 101 million. Also, didn't they sell? Isn't the Angeles? The Orioles have sold. I'm going to figure that Baltimore is going to, make some moves. It's time to win, right? It's time to compete because, who you compete with? Yankees, Red Sox, Indians, or Guardians, sorry, and Houston and Seattle. Come on. That Pittsburgh doesn't want to even try, or doesn't even, hide the fact that they're not trying. Okay, let me go back. We said the active. How about this? This is amazing. Oh, man. So total payroll for the A's, who are a mess, right? And I still don't believe they're moving to Vegas. I don't. Who knows where we'll be when they start? I still don't believe they're moving to Vegas. So the total payroll is 63 million. Active payroll, and it says 26 man, so I guess it's now a 26-man roster, is $20 million for the A's. How is that feasible? How does a team get to that spot? They're averaging $770,000 per player. The Pirates are about $70 million. God, and we're saying, Alabama and South Alabama aren't playing the same sport. This is professional. Can't happen. No, baseball needs it. They need a top end salary cap and they need a floor salary cap. That's what, the NFL has. You got to spend a certain amount. You can tank for a year. You still got to spend the money. NBA, same thing. You got to spend, I think, like 90% of your revenue. You have to spend it. You can try to lose with bad players. You still have to spend it. I don't know about the NHL. I presume you have to do that too. NHL kind of funny with their contract extensions. It is what it is. All right, so hopefully we'll see if my feet get done today. I don't remember how long it took. They took molds of my feet. Probably going to get some x-rays and see if we can. In the middle of Orange Theory today, my foot just was killing me. I had to stop and I couldn't run anymore. Again, if I rested and didn't go every day, which honestly I was planning on not going today until Jen Love said, hey, you want to work out with me at 5 a.m.? Yay. Because normally I would go at 8:15 and I got the appointment at 8:45, and the foot appointment is much more important than running, and I could run another time. But we did go, and it was a good class. It's a tornado. You rotate and did like 650 calories. No splat points. Again, yeah, I was tired. All right, we got to get packing, and I have to do a Locked On. I didn't even do that. We'll do Locked On Sunbelt. Who can get into the playoff as a Sunbelt team? We'll do that. So look for that. Really appreciate you guys. 57 watching this morning. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And again, we will be, let me see if I got it here. come by. All right. The station that Schultz and Love built, along with Alan Michael, Cody, and the famous Clint D. So we'll be there. Again, they haven't fixed this yet. I presume it's tomorrow, July 10th, 2024. They refuse to do it. And the only reason I know this is not old is because, again, it wasn't, the birthday last year was not ESPN. So we'll go see Moscona. He's got all the good bourbon. He should bring me a bottle of bourbon. He's got the good bourbon. He's got a couple of the bourbons that I want. I'm not talking about the Pappies. He doesn't have to give up that. Maybe a Weller single barrel. All right. All the best to you guys. Have a great day. Oh, we do have a comment here. Let me see what this is. I'm not going to SEC Media Days, but I am leaving. I am moving to Kentucky. So we are packing up. We'll still do Lockdown Sunbelt, trying to figure out the Schultz cast, but work is going to get in the way of that. So I may do it in the evenings. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in.